Hello and welcome to WTF, where we help you transform food in your kitchen. I'm Janie.
And I'm Dave.
And Dave is once again our special guest in our kitchen this week. We are deep diving into the world of cocktails. I'm very excited because I know so little about it and Dave knows a lot, so we're really excited for him to share his knowledge about different techniques to make a fantastic cocktail. So definitely stick around because we're going to make something really, really delicious. And where I want to start, Dave, is from your experience, what are the key components of a truly great cocktail?
Right. So the things that make a great cocktail are fresh juice. That's critical. There's just way more complexity to it than a shelf-stable product.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
So fresh juice if you're using citrus in a cocktail. Ice is super important. The one that we're going to do today, we're just going to shake it and serve it over ice. But if you're doing like stirred drinks, clear ice is really critical. What else makes great? Glass selection. When we talk about the smoke bubble, glass selection is really important because glasses that are flared outward or have sort of a soft edge, the bubble wants to like that. If it's something like a wine glass or something that has a really sharp edge, that can tend to pop the bubble. So glassware is important. And then spirit selection. So one of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to make an infused tequila with a pineapple bark from juicing the fresh pineapple. Being able to make our own pineapple tequila, as a bartender, that gives me a signature in my drinks that nobody else has.
Yeah.
So I'm competing for business with the guy next to me, with the guy across the street, for business every night, but being able to offer something that nobody else can, that brings people into my business. So just being able to add your touch, your taste to your drinks.
Yeah, I love that. And it sounds like it could be terribly complex. And what we're doing today is, I think we purposely done a drink that really has multiple steps. But a reminder, if you're watching at home, the goal is for you to be able to look at all these options that I have in order to make a great cocktail, and you can then pick from them. So you might say, I just want to do a bubble, or I just want to do a foam, and I want to know how to make great fresh juice. So all these different options are available to you to use all at once, or maybe one at a time. So I think I want to start with, let's start with first the fresh juice part, because I know I only know usually, okay, you're juicing your own lemons and you're juicing your own limes. But today we got pineapple. Can you talk a little bit about what we're doing in order to juice the pineapples?
That's right. So I guess we'll introduce first Juice Fountain XL.
I'm going to move this over here. Move, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay.
So this is our new commercial juicer. And so the Breville juicers are very famous. A lot of bartenders use them, even though maybe they shouldn't. They're not commercial. And so just people love these juicers. It's a really great juicer. And so we said, hey, let's make one for commercial. So it's got commercial certifications, and we didn't really change too much about it. We did add this speed selection on the front, which kind of tells you how to get the best yield from whatever it is that you're juicing. Selecting the right speed will give you an optimal amount of juice. And so, and for restaurants, that's important. Get the most out of my product. That's money, right, in my pocket. And so you want to be able to get the best yield. And so we're going to juice the pineapple, and we're going to add a little bit of citric acid and malic acid to make it bright and fresh for our cocktail. And then we're going to take the barks from the pineapple, and this is what we're going to use to make our pineapple tequila.
All right.
So let's get our pineapple juiced.
Okay.
Okay, so it has a super wide feed chute, which is really unique. So in commercial, this is the biggest feed chute that there is. And because I was there when we did the commercial testing, I can tell you, tooth to tooth, this is as big as you can go.
Okay.
Otherwise, you wouldn't pass.
Okay.
And so you can take whole apples and just drop them straight down. You can just take multiple carrots, just by the handful, push them down. So you can fit a lot through this at once. So we've got our big old pineapple chunks. We're going to turn the speed selection. So we have the most, what we would consider very commonly juiced product. We've got apple, ginger, carrot, pineapple, stuff like that. And so we're going to turn it to pineapple and then just run them through.
All right.
Okay, so it juices into this jug, and you can actually twist this, close it, and just keep this in your fridge.
And it really took no time at all, so it was super fast.
So we're going to take some of this, and we're going to add the citric acid and malic acid to it to make a lime-adjusted pineapple juice, which we have another episode. Yes,
so if you're like, what is lime adjusted? We're not going to cover it today because there are too many other things, but it's such an interesting topic. We're going to do an entire WTF about, again, as another cocktail focus, but it's more about the acid adjusting and how do you do that and what do you use. All right.
Yep.
All right, so we have this acid adjusted pineapple juice, which we tasted it when we were off camera, and it tastes like, it's like pineapple, but with the acidity of lime juice. It's crazy and delicious. Now, what are our next two steps? What techniques are we doing now?
Right. So we're going to make our infused tequila. So I took we take the bark from the pineapple, dehydrate it.
Okay.
And then, because if we didn't dehydrate it, then it would give off too much juice to the tequila, water it down. Not water it down, but juice it down.
Right.
So we're going to take the dehydrated pineapple and tequila, and we're going to cook that sous vide so that we have an infused pineapple tequila.
Okay. And before we move on, why do we want to sous vide a tequila instead of just letting it sit and marinate the old-fashioned way?
Yep. So you just have more control over the overall process, and you can really hone in the flavors that you want out of it by selecting a specific cooking temperature. You can really dial in your result.
Yeah. So there's a lot of information here. We're not going to go through all of it because we do want to get to the good part, which is assembling the cocktail. But this will be available on our blog. Kind of, we'll talk a little bit more about cooking times and sous vide techniques. All right. And what is over here?
Okay, so we're going to make a spicy pineapple foam. So this is just straight juice. This it has no acidity to it. This is just straight juice. We're going to add a red chili liqueur, a little bit of Mexican hot sauce.
Okay.
And then we're going to add salt and sugar to kind of balance this out. So that's kind of like where we started. Then it was, well, that's flavored, so let's get some chili in there. And I've got something sitting on my cocktail that's going to make its way into it, so let's keep booze in it. So that's why we have the chili liqueur and the hot sauce. And then the magic here is the foam magic. So pineapple cocktails, I wanted to do it this way. Pineapple cocktails have this really luscious texture to them.
Okay.
And when you shake them, they get this really velvety, really sexy, really creamy mouthfeel. And so we're kind of doubling down on that with having this little foam topper that's just going to float on top of the cocktail and kind of add to the texture, but also lift all the flavors with the spicy, and yeah.
Cool. And I see you have a whipping siphon here, so everything's going to go in there?
Yeah, this is really simple to do. So we've got our juice, and I'm going to whisk everything together here and just pour it in there because I'm a creature of habit. But I know that you can just go right in here. The foam magic is pre-hydrated, right?
Yes.
And so it doesn't clump, which is amazing when you work with the stuff, because if you're used to adding like xanthan gum to things or methylcellulose or name any other hydrocolloid that would clump if you dump it in. You dump this in and you're like, I expect to have this disaster happening, and it's not. It's awesome. Yeah,
we love it. So we use foam magic for everything. It's also a great substitute for egg whites if you don't want to have eggs in your cocktails. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. It's one of our favorites.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And so just going to go in with all of that. And again, I probably don't have to do this, but I'm a creature of habit. So I'm going to stir it a little bit.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt your feelings, but just have it. Just have it.
You're like, I'm shocked.
He's whisking. You don't have to whisk. Just have it. So I'm going to go in with the hot sauce. And there's this is about like a 1/4 ounce, and we've got 200 milliliters of the pineapple juice. This is just a 1/4 ounce. I know I flip-flop between metric and imperial. It's just a habit.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll have both up on the blog on the recipe
full
page.
recipes for everything. And then we're going to go in with our red chili liqueur. The same company also makes a green chili liqueur, but I thought that like the red chili would kind of really play into like, I wanted like smoky, barbecue, pineapple. I wanted those flavors. And so I went with the red chili liqueur in this application. Yeah. So we're going to go into our foam whipper with this, and I'm only going to do one charge. You could probably do two. I really wanted to incorporate into the drink. I don't want it to be like super stiff. I think one charge is going to get us there just fine, so that's what I'm going to do. So lid on, and then one cream charger. and then we'll just kind of shake it a little bit to get the gas incorporated, and then I reserve this in the fridge until we're ready to build our cocktail.
All right, so we're gonna just reset the table real quick, and we're gonna come back and build our cocktail.
Yep.
All right, and we're back, and remember, if you like any of today's content, to subscribe, like, hit a notification button so you can see more episodes with Dave, with Roman, and anyone else that might come into our kitchen. Now, before we build the entire cocktail, we do want to take a moment to talk about this cool contraption here, which is the Breville Smoking Gun Bubble Kit. And there's a little picture right here. That's Dave's hand, right? That's you.
Yeah.
And this looks so incredible, and it's a really great way to add a lot of pizzazz and wow to your drinks. All right, what are the bits and parts?
So it comes with a bubble solution. So it comes with 2 ounces of this. It's a completely made of food ingredients. We have one of the only edible bubble mixes on the planet.
Cool.
And most of them are made for like dogs. I didn't know that bubbles in like dogs were a thing, but like bubbles for pets is a thing. This one is made for humans to consume. And we have a water atomizer. So in a situation where the glass is really dry, it can cause the bubble to pop, so we kind of give it a spritz with water to lubricate it, and the bubble will adhere to it better.
Okay.
We have a dip tray. So we said, Breville, we always try to think of like what's the most elegant way to solve a problem. And so if you have the bubble liquid, it needs to go in something.
Right.
And the hack would be, I have a jigger, and I'm just going to pour bubble solution in it. That jigger is particularly expensive.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice jigger. And
really
so to ask somebody to give up one of their tools for an evening to have this, like that's not the good solution. So we said, okay, we're going to give people something to put the bubble solution in. And we specifically went with white because bars are dimly lit pretty often, right? And so this way you can say like, hey, it's over there. Like you can easily spot it on the bar. And then we try to be thoughtful in our design. And then this is the guy. This is the we call it the tulip, we call it the bubble nozzle, so the bubble barrel, we call it all sorts of things. But this is what actually makes the bubble. So it attaches to the smoking gun on the end there. It's just a friction fit, it just attaches very simply. And then I use what I call the soda gun grip. You know, like you got a soda gun and so I use the soda gun grip to actually make my bubbles. And then so that you don't lose anything, it comes with a kind of this hard, soft shell case situation that holds all of these things together. And then we do have refills of the, see if it stands. We have refills of the solution. And then the case is made to hold these as well, 2 of these as well.
Yeah, very
so everything
cool.
stays together.
Yep, and if you've ever seen our episodes around the smoking gun, so this is an attachment for the smoking gun. If you haven't, you're like, oh, I get this whole thing. You just get the bubble kit itself, smoking gun, sold separately, and we'll link to that in the description below if you want to start adding smoke to your dishes as well, which is always super fun. This is totally new. You know, I haven't seen anything like this. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's up with bubbles and cocktails?
Yeah, so the reason we're doing it on this cocktail is, again, we're encapsulating smoke to garnish the cocktail with smoke. Not necessarily incorporating it into the drink, we're kind of echoing the mezcal that's in the cocktail, but we're actually garnishing it. So if I had a cocktail with orange in it, maybe I put an orange wedge on it, right? Or if I'm making a margarita, put a lime wedge on it, right? So I have smoke in the drink, so I'm garnishing it with smoke bubble. So this actually encapsulates the smoke and makes a smoke bubble that literally sits on top of the drink.
Yeah, I think we're going to walk through doing the bubbles, doing the cocktail itself, and then doing the bubbles, because I kind of want to see it happening in action. I'm going to have questions, but I kind of want to do it live. So let's jump into the building, and then we will get to the bubble making as well. Let's do it. What's first?
So we're going to go in with 1.5 ounces of our pineapple infused tequila. Particularly like this jigger because it has these really nice graduations on the inside, so you can kind of be really precise with your measurement.
Yeah, Dave's got the nice fancy
I got the good
stuff.
tools.
You do. Okay.
So we're going to go in with mezcal. This is Del Maguey Vide. I always script the name. I just call it Vide Mezcal. So we're going to go in with 1/2 ounce of this. What else? We're going to go in with 3/4 ounce of Cointreau.
Okay.
No funny business here, just straight Cointreau. This has it is a triple sec. It's I forget what the base for it is, like what the base spirit, but it has an orange quality to it. And then we're going to go in with our acid-adjusted pineapple juice. So we're using this in place of lime juice.
Okay.
If we just added straight pineapple juice, it would be sweet. It's not acidic. It's not bright. You would have this kind of tasty thing, but it just wouldn't. It wouldn't have that brightness to it, that tartness. So we're going to use 3/4 of an ounce of the acid-adjusted pineapple juice. And then for sweetener, people like to use simple syrup. Simple syrup has no place in my home. I use Demerara syrup. Okay. I know, shots fired, right? But hear me out. So like if you're making an old fashioned, you have brown spirits, you should use a brown sugar. So use Demerara syrup for that. Tiki drinks, we're using rum, brown spirits, brown sugar. I use Demerara syrup in that. In a margarita, agave is going to give us much more complex flavor. Yeah, there's just so many other options. Or you could make a raspberry syrup if you needed a syrup. There's so many other options for flavor. So simple syrup, I'm going to stray away from. Okay. And then this is, and you can buy this on the shelf. You can't really make agave nectar. I mean, maybe somebody makes it. Yeah. But right off the shelf. Okay. So we're going to grab, we'll go with 1/4 of an ounce, and then I'm just going to pour really thoughtfully to make sure that we get all the quarters. Sometimes I grab like a little spatula, but we're going to add ice to our shaker. And like, what's the right amount? So I kind of want to like fill it all the way up if you're going to strain it off. I'm going to go in with just like a half filled, because I'm going to go into that glass with pretty much everything that's in here. Okay. So we'll shake our drink. So the way that these happen, you kind of just give it a little tap, and you start really slow. And as the temperature falls, it'll kind of lock itself together. Yes. I'll give it like a shake for like 10 seconds. All right. This is a pro at work. This is my happy place. All right, so I'm gonna just, and since we're serving it on the ice, you could strain this off, and really fancy bartenders do that, but there's booze in here, and it's holding on to that ice. Yeah. I want it in my drink, so I just dumped the whole thing. Okay. All right, and so that's a perfect amount of headspace for our foam. I'm just gonna, since we haven't charged it out yet, I'm just gonna go into the jigger. Dispense a little bit. Ooh, that looks so good. The texture's good, right? Yeah. It's really nice. All right, so we have this now spicy pineapple foam on top of our cocktail. I'm gonna sneak a little bit. I'm gonna taste this. Go ahead. All right. Oh, that is so good. That's good, right? Oh my God. I know the heat will start to like creep up on it. It is. It kind of changes. But in like a really good way. Oh, this is so good. Oh, it's good, right? Yeah. And so, all right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna spray the, just to lubricate the glass in case. So this is just water. In case the bubble touches the rim, it'll help it from popping. Okay, so we're gonna turn the fan on. That's the first thing. And I have a small pinch of wood chips in the smoking gun, okay? Once we start to see the smoke come out of the top of the hose. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna dip it. Wow. Look at that. That is amazing. Cole, I hope you're getting like a great close-up. Like if you're at a bar and someone gives you one, you're gonna be like, oh my God, mind blown. All right, I'm for you. So you can kind of, I would poke it with my finger. It is a lot of smoke. People, oh, I'll get you another bubble. Okay. So people are like, I waited too long. I was hesitating. So people are like, oh, I can do it. You know, whatever. It's a lot of smoke. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, I'm gonna enjoy this. Yep, go for it. All right. A mouthful of foam. But it's so. I love this foam. Can I eat this? Yeah, it's really, really good. It's got the little bit of spice. It's got the fresh pineapple. That is dangerously good. Oh my God. Yeah. So, and again, all those like little things that you do to level it up. So using the fresh juice, we've got the fresh pineapple, we've got the amazing texture from the foam, with the foam magic. You've got, and actually in just like the little time that it was on there, there's actually a little color change. You can see there's actually a slight difference between the color of the foam here and the foam here. That's the smoke adhering to the surface. So even now, I smell smoke. Yeah. And so all those things that you do just really elevate the drink. Yeah, that is, like I just said, it's dangerously delicious. I'm not kidding. Like this is so good. I could easily have like 3 of those, which would be No, you can't, trust me. I didn't say it would be a good night after that. I just said I could. Yeah.
So hopefully what we've shown you today is how some of the building blocks to making a truly exceptional cocktail so that you can level up your bar game, whether you're at home, you're at a restaurant, you're at a bar, you know, wherever you are, you can use one or any or all of those techniques to make everything super delicious. We hope you enjoy, and then also later in this week we're going to have a short, and that short's going to show some of the tips and tricks to how do you work with the smoking bubbles, because you know Dave is making it look easy, but if you're a first timer, definitely stick around for those as well. So until next week, from here in the Modernist Pantry Test Kitchen, I'm Janie.
And I'm Dave. My wife and I, we always make a joke that like as I'm if I were at home doing this, I'd probably stick my finger in there and like do one of those, and we say that's what the real bartenders do.